So I'm making a new game with all that I learnt from Rupert and Boopert. This should be a fair bit better than the last one, I'm hoping. I've gotten a lot better at pixel art, and I've definitely learned a lot about how to code things in Game Maker since then. See, in Rupert and Boopert, I was just dragging and dropping for Game Maker, which is the noob way of doing things. So now I've learnt how to just use code. So the inspiration for this new game is Earthbound, and that's probably completely obvious to anyone that's actually played Earthbound, but yes, if you haven't heard of Earthbound, definitely look it up. But other than that, I wanted to use an element from Mario Odyssey. I liked how in Mario Odyssey you didn't need to get all the moons in an area to move on to the next. So I wanted to have that sort of element to an RPG. Like, you don't have to fully finish any area, it just lets you move on once you're sick of it, once you've done like half of it. So I'll fill you in on the story so far. So you're an alien. Why? Because when I was drawing sprites, the alien one was my favourite one that I came up with while practicing pixel art. So you're an alien, and you have a wife, and that wife is pregnant. And you're both the last of your kind, so it's kind of a big deal, okay? Anyway, you're sitting with your alien wife, watching the stars, it's all romantic and stuff, when all of a sudden, the space devil rocks up in his spaceship, and he says something like, "I'm the space devil, and it's time for my next space scheme. I'm going to steal your alien wife and raise your alien child to be space evil." And with that, he steals your woman, and you only know one way to get it back. You get in your spaceship, and you go find some cats. Pretty cool story, right? Oh, and the spaceship is powered by cats, allowing you to travel to different dimensions to find the space devil and your wife. So that is why you need cats. So I planned for there to be 5 different dimensions with 10 cats on each. So think of cats like moons or stars from Mario. So I'll make it so you can travel to the next area after only getting 5 of these cats. So I'm just trying to make it so once you get bored with an area, you can just move on. Or if you're the OCD 100% completionist type, you can hang around and do all 10 on each area. See, one thing I didn't like about those sort of old games like Earthbound was with the battles, you tend to end up fighting the same enemies like over and over. Like, they were cool in Earthbound, but like, you don't want to fight like a mole gone wild or whatever it was. A mole playing by its own rules, playing rough. You don't want to fight the mole playing rough like 10 times over and over. So I'm thinking with this game, I'll make there be a lot less battling in general. But the idea is that you fight lots of different kinds of enemies. So maybe you fight each thing like maybe twice or 3 times tops. Also, I intend to put much less emphasis on stats and like getting items and weapons for battling. I want to focus more on the unique enemies and like how you approach fighting them. So you'll unlock like a bunch of different moves, and it's not always obvious like what will do what to each enemy. Like, you have to figure it out and sort of like be smart about it. So I wanted to make tilting your enemies much more of an important thing than, say, just using a powerful attack move on them again and again and again. So, like, to tilt them, like, you might hear from an NPC that this certain type of enemy doesn't like having this happen to them, or like they don't like you insulting their mother, or like they're conscious about their looks or things like that. So you can learn that, and then you can use that in the game, and then if you tilt them, it'll like reduce their chance of hurting you. I do like from Earthbound though the trippy backgrounds when battling. So I really hope I can keep that sort of in the game. And I like how witty the enemies are. Like, I like the sort of funny things that the text says that they do when you're fighting them, and it's not always like that they do damage, and I really wanted to keep that in there as well. Like half the battle is more of a joke than say more like Pokemon, where every move is meaningful. But yeah, overall, I want the battling to be a much smaller part of the game than a typical RPG like this. I want to have it so more of the cats are found by interacting with the NPCs in the world. So like doing their strange biddings and going on quests. And overall, I want the game to have a sort of quirky, fun feeling. Yeah, so I want to have more quests to do with sort of like in the Zelda part of the world, like the walking around in the overworld. Less to do with sort of winning battles, although that'll be part of it. Anyway, so this is the game I'm working on now. I'm planning at the moment to do a video once a week, maybe on a Friday. So I'm in Australia, so that's probably Saturday for you if you're in the US. Plan on doing one video a week where I talk about specifically what I've been working on. So, like, for instance, this video has just been an overview of this new game and what I think it's going to be about. But, like, say if I'm working on an inventory system, like I'll fill you in with more details and that sort of thing. And hey, maybe you can help me if I get stuck, because I'm still not the best at coding. I'm still learning it. Like, I'm still a long way from really knowing what I'm doing. I feel like I'm getting things to work just by winging it at the moment, but I don't know how long that plan's gonna... I don't know how long I'm gonna get away with winging it before I really come into something that I just don't know what I'm doing. So yeah, hit me up, help me out. Or maybe you just have some good ideas as to what I should put into the game anyway. Like maybe you have thought of something I haven't, or maybe like something's not as cool as what I thought it was and you can shut me down and tell me. Anyway, I'm pretty happy to hear it, eh? Also, name for the game. If you can help me out by helping me come up with what a name for this game should be, much appreciated, because at the moment that's something I don't have. With the last game, I sort of just made it up on the fly. I thought there was a red player and a blue player, so I'll go, okay, R and B, so Rupert, Boopert, rhymes, it's easy. But yeah, anyway, hit me up for a name. That's all from me for now. Like I said, I'll try and do one every week. Thanks for listening. If you managed to get this far, you're a legend. And bye!